Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's see here. Do we have anybody popping in? Thanks for being here. We're getting a late start today, but great show as always. Looks like we have a prayer to start out today's show here in the pre-stream. Just a reminder for anybody who may not have heard. Oh, I'm going to send out the text message. Text message, go. Oh, no. Oh, weird. There's a weird small mistake in the text message today. And it's too late. It's out there. For those who didn't know, you can leave us a message over on the website, canarycrynewstalk.com. You'll see a green tab pop up on the bottom or the right-hand side. When you're over there, click on that. You can leave us a message. And you'll have 90 seconds, and we're inviting any producers who want to start the pre-stream off with a prayer. It is a very cool way to start the program here, and a cool way to produce the show. So you can go to canarycrynewstalk.com, click on the green tab somewhere on the page, and just leave us a little 90-second prayer. We'll play it before the show here. And I think we have one. It came in multiple parts today. So we will play that and then start the show. Okay, let's do it.
This is Psalm 22 by David. So open your Bibles to Psalm 22. I might cry before we're through. My God, why have you forsaken me? You are so far from saving me. My God, I am crying out today. You do not answer. Through a darkness of delay, the enthroned Holy One, the praise of Israel, you set the captives free, yet you sacrifice me. My God, I am scorned by everyone. They mock my burdens. I am scorned by everyone. They mock my burdens. They insult the chosen son. I see my mother. Her tears fall to the ground. These beasts surround me. Yet you don't make a sound, poured out like water. All my bones are out of joint. My heart has melted. My soul is at the breaking point. The tongue is thirsty. The dogs have surrounded me. They pierce my hands and nailed me to a tree. My God, all my bones are on display. My God, they divide my clothes today. My strength, my Lord, deliver me from the sword. My soul is longing to sing David's precious chord. Hallelujah, I sing to assembly. Hallelujah, He turns his face to me for those who fear you. I fulfill all my vows, the earth remembers, and every nation bows, my Lord, my Lord. The future knows my decree, those yet unborn will hear of my victory. Stay strong for Jesus.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Crime News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is April 7th, 2023. We are live to tape on episode 610. And today, Revelation Queen. Signing on from Off the Grid, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy, Basil.
And my name is Gonz, Face Like the Sun, Resurrection, director of the Age of Deceit films. Wife calls me the Cabana Boy, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Live to tape from California to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events and today's emergent phenomena. It's a good Friday.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, well, happy Good Friday, everybody. That's right. We are coming towards the end of Holy Week, and festivities shall abound over the weekend. So apologies, we're a little late today, but that is how the cookie crumbles. And I think, Gonz, we should just get right into it. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's first open up that big old can of disclaimer.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up, YouTube.
That's right. And just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
That's right. And we're such good boys that I will give you a heads up. Today's episode is going to be too hot for YouTube. So we are beginning the stream over here on YouTube, and we will be giving you a link. I'll just pop it there right now to the Rumble stream. We will be on YouTube for just a few minutes. But once we get into the bulk of the show, we will be turning off YouTube. So you got to head on over to the Rumble, subscribe to us there, and you can catch the rest of the show. And with that, let me give you a rundown.
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
That's right. We're starting out with the namesake of today's episode. We'll be checking in with the Nigerian lawyer who unveils the big news that she is the queen of Revelation 12. What does that mean for, well, anyone? Then we'll be checking in on Flippy, who is here to change sports ball as we know it, right before Gonz comes at us hard, jumping into the fray of the culture war and giving us a breakdown of some of the transhuman as well as other trans topics in Block 1. Block 2, we'll be starting with an interesting article I found buried in the pile amongst other distractions in regards to the coming technocratic medical industrial complex and what that means for individuals when compared against the better good, the greater good. Then we'll be having an update on virtual reality. Yes, it's been some time since we've checked back in with the virtual reality, the metaverse, the future of humanity's lethargic life pod state. Well, some big news there. And then at the end of the show, of course, a Nephilim update. Everybody's favorite. But first, Gons, let's jump in to our lead stories.
It's got to be biblical.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
Gotta turn that down. Okay, so NigerDeltaToday.com.
Totally legit.
Your
Sounds
source for
totally cool.
Total legit news. Had this headline: World Revelation. Nigerian lawyer unveils self as Queen of Revelation 12, reveals rapture date.
Ah, the date. It's been revealed. Oh, that's nice. It was about time somebody put a date on it. All these cowards not picking a date and a time. So that's nice. Niger Delta Today, huh? That's a pretty interesting outlet. But you know what? It's not like the New York Times was going to report on it. We'll tell you that much.
Well, they should if they want more clicks.
I want to know what the consequences of the Queen of Revelation being a lawyer. There's got to be something there.
There's some kind of judge, the council, the divine council conversation, perhaps. There's a photo of her, an African American woman with a crown on her head with a.
Well, she's African.
Oh, she is African. Oh, that's right. She's African. She's Nigerian. You're right. Wow, that's a sad moment for me right there.
Yeah, you gotcha.
But
gotcha.
But more disturbingly than that is the Star of David with the all-seeing eye in the middle of it behind her.
Cool detail. Very cool detail.
Just fun detail. Okay, so Nigerian woman, prophetess Henrietta Sarah Nwosa, who describes herself as one of the Holy Bible referred to as the Queen of Revelation, has made her first public appearance to the world, saying she has the mandate of God to be the defender of the faith and fulfillment of God's desire for the world. Nwosa, a lawyer, told journalists at a world press conference held in Warri, Delta State, that she will henceforth be known and addressed as Biblical Royal Majesty, Queen Mahardi Sarah Mariam Samrian I, Queen of the Hebrews and Queen of Isaac Edom, the defender of the faith. That would be rough. That'd be rough.
She's a lawyer, a prophetess, and the Queen of Revelation 12.
And has a very long title that I'm sure you can't even be in her presence unless you get that right, you know. She said God, through his son Jesus, has fixed and announced 2233, that is the year 2233, as the rapture date. It's a year, but it's a date. To all mankind, adding that the revelation of the rapture was given to her since 2013 by the Lord Jesus. That's 210 years.
Kind of a ways off, huh?
Hey, you know, if we make it to her point, if we make it 210 years, the way things are trending, it could be a time when, you know, without intervention, no flesh shall be saved, you know, kind of situation.
You know, I was going to say, as far as date setters go, and we've known many of them over the years, as far as date setting goes, that might be one of the safest bets that I've heard.
Yeah.
Because if nobody's going to be alive by the to see
here's
if
my
she's
question.
correct.
Here's my question to you.
If it comes before, nobody's even going to complain.
Well, that's my question. Will there be people in that year from our generation or our era now that will be alive, given all the technology and all the weirdness going on and, you know, medicine and all that? It all kind of ties it together. But yeah, it's something to ponder here. It's not.
Everybody will be uploaded to the mainframe. Nobody's even going to have a human body to be raptured.
Well, there's also that
going to be floating in cyberspace.
The collective memory of people that have gone too, you know, as some sort of false virtual resurrection. But it says here, the Queen of Isaac Edom noted that she has been spiritually and physically fortified for her new role, saying she conversed with God for years before publicly making her first appearance to the world in line with God's approval. So there you go.
Okay.
Yep. Holding some authority there.
Does she make any extraordinary claims? Like is she gonna be alive? I guess the assumption is that she's gonna live the 200 years.
I don't know. I don't know
now,
further
for
than
those
the open claims.
Sure. Okay. So for those who maybe don't know who the Queen of Revelation 12 is, do you want to catch people up?
Yeah, so you go to Revelation 12 here, and it talks about the woman and the dragon. And starting in verse 3 here, it says, Then another sign appeared in heaven, a huge red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 royal crowns on his head. His tail swept a third of the stars from the sky, tossing them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman who was about to give birth. And so this woman is clothed in the sun with the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head. And there have been in recent years some celestial alignments where you have, what was the female figure? Virgo, in the sort of celestial alignment, Virgo, the constellation, having a moment where, I can't remember what year it was, but this description where the sun is right in the middle, the moon under her feet, the 12 stars over her head kind of thing. So,
okay.
And she was pregnant and crying out in pain and agony of giving birth. And a lot of commentators and scholars have said that this female, this woman, is Israel in the proper context. So
lots of options,
right? And it gets it talks about how she gave birth to a son, a male child, right? Jesus, who will rule all the nations with an iron scepter. And her child was caught up to God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness where God had prepared a place for her to be nourished for 1,260 days. And that's that same pattern we see all the time, the 3 times and half a time situation there. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems much more accurate to me that the woman is Israel. But, hey, if it's this lady...
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter what you think, Gons. She said herself
clearly,
that it's her.
Clearly, I can't even get her identity correct.
I would be careful questioning her because there's a little bit of a Pascal's wager here. Because if she isn't the Queen of Revelation 12, then there's not really any consequence. But if she is, Gons, if she is with that Star of David with the eyeball in the middle right behind her, and if you look pretty closely, it's a very homemade sort of tapestry behind her. I think the Star of David is made with yellow duct tape, and the eyeball in the middle seems to be maybe acrylic paint or something. But you know what? From humble beginnings, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you never know. She can have a whole hologram of that eye thing moving around behind her in the future.
I can't believe she's been holding out on us since 2013. This has been 10 years.
Well, that's you got to develop into the role. You can't just step out not knowing how things develop. So, but yeah, there you go. It does remind me of Matthew 24, verse 24. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders that would deceive even the elect if that were possible. So that's really the key here. We're at the point now where, hey, you can talk the talk, but you got to see people walk the walk. We need to see miracles. That is kind of the standard.
Sure.
It sounds ridiculous, but that is sort of, and I think technology will provide aspects of that, with the stuff that's coming. So anyway, or I'm just a crazy person.
All right, coming right out the gate with a big one. There you go, folks. You heard it here first, because I'm sure you did not read it in Niger Delta Weekly or whatever it's called. Okay, let's keep this train rolling because it is Friday, Gons. Don't forget
it's
that.
It's Friday.
There you go. Keep playing with the Friday thing.
You're gonna learn today.
Because it's Friday. You ain't got no job. And you ain't got shit.
Are you not entertained?
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Yes, Yes, it is Friday. It is Good Friday.
It is.
And it's almost Good Friday evening. We got such a late start today, Gun. So sorry if anybody was, had us scheduled on their calendar for earlier. But it's that time of year again.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I've been playing some guitar for the local church here, and we got 5 songs to play on Sunday. That's a lot of
you're
songs.
Set.
Man.
You're ready.
I'm not. I'm definitely not ready for it.
Oh.
It'll be fun. It'll be good times.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got that. But I also do have a dad joke, a Christian fringe
Sure.
dad joke, which
good.
It came to me. I had to put it on paper, and here it is. Why is our biology not designed to go into outer space, if there is such a thing?
I don't know, Dad.
Because God didn't plan it.
Planet. I get it. It's kind of like a little flat Earth joke too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's many layers. It's a very deep onion.
I know. We have some flat Earth dads out there. They're gonna love that one. There you go.
All right.
Make sure to credit your jokes, fathers.
Source link back to this moment. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, if there were any flat Earth fathers out there, I'm sure the kids are already listening, so it'd be hard to pass off the joke as their own. Okay, well, cool. Are you planning to tell that one on Sunday?
No, there is no microphone
Sure.
in front of me. Thankfully, the church knows what they're doing.
Oh, you're not singing?
No. Well, I might sing it, a little bit in the background, but it's not. I'm not a. No, I have denied.
That's not your job.
Yes.
Not your
Guitar
job.
is all I do. The strings. So it's better that way.
I don't have any big plans right now. I don't have any. I mean, besides the obvious Easter plans, maybe I should take some of my eggs from the chicken coop and just scatter them around town and just like let people find them, because these chickens, I don't know if anybody told you this or not, Gons, but these chickens, they do not stop laying eggs. They just do it every day.
I am
even
aware.
when I ask them not to. And I have no idea what to do with all these eggs. My refrigerator is overflowing. I counted 2 days ago. There's more now. But 2 days ago, I had 76 eggs. I can't even eat eggs anymore. I'm tired of them.
Well, put on that bunny suit and be the guy or the bunny or whatever you identify as in your neighborhood.
Pagan bunny. Get that pagan bunny out of here.
Bunny.
I don't know. I thought just making a day of it and putting them in a basket and just walking around town and just hiding them just for like fun, not cook them. Don't cook them. Don't paint them, nothing like that. If there was one day that I could possibly get away with hiding raw eggs around town and not suffer some sort of legal consequences, I think Easter is that day. So if you are an adult and you are sad that you're not allowed to do the church Easter egg hunt, start looking in the nooks and crannies of your local coffee shop and Chipotle burrito store. You might just find a little prize there for you. And in today's economy, I think
that's
every
like
adult
finding
would be
gold.
welcome. Yeah, I think so. Faye in the chat is mentioning water glassing eggs. Have you heard about this?
Water glassing? No, what is that?
Yeah, I guess there's a way to preserve raw eggs just in a jar of water.
Oh, just air seal it and then
it's
like crack
it's
it
kind
open
of a
in the water or something?
homesteading thing. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I've had a few people tell me about it. But I don't know if that would solve my problems. Really, all that does is put off my egg problem until later.
Maybe you can consolidate. If you can actually, do you keep the egg in, a whole egg, or I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Should I crack them and put them all goop?
Yeah, the goop.
together?
Yeah, preserve the goop in some sort of state of stasis.
Yeah, I'm sure I could figure something out. Just crack 76 eggs into a garbage bag and put it into the freezer and just wait for society to collapse, and then I'll be the king, the egg king. All right, that's what I'll do.
Chop off a corner, and you can just goop it out.
Yeah,
You
that'll
would be
my
Santa.
philanthropy,
yeah.
my apocalypse philanthropy. Come and get it. I'll just crack off some
Egg goop.
frozen raw egg.
Raw egg goop.
Hold out your hands there, Sonny. Put it right in his hands. All right, this has already gone out of control. So I think it's time to thank some executive producers.
Mm-hmm.
Executive producers.
That's right. We're on the value for value model, which means corporations, it is not their job to keep this show going. And that's nice because when corporate interests invite you to take their corporate money, you know that there's a catch. But no catch here, folks. If you get value from this show, put some value back in. You can do it with your time, your talent, or your treasure. But the executive producers are those who recognize that there's only one way to keep corporate interests out of independent media, and that's to produce the show. They come in extra generous, extra honest with the value they receive, and we thank them now. Ready?
Yes, sir.
As of now, we have one executive producer for today's show, and that is executive producer Morgan E.
Hey, Morgan E. Wow.
Yeah. And Morgan E. is on a 14-episode streak in total and a 2-episode streak as executive producer.
And
cool,
executive streak here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What happened to my executive streak? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Executive streak, please.
Here we go. That's building the tension.
Yes, but it's not happening. Where is it? What happened? It disappeared.
Oh, no.
It disappeared from under
Morgan
my fingers.
Morgan E. It's disappeared from under his fingers. There's some sort of Bill Gates-esque virus that is infecting the soundboard today. So I'll just do one a cappella for you. Executive streak. Oh, there it is.
There you go. It actually worked
out. I called it out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, executive producer Morgan E. Always swooping in to save the day. We appreciate that very much.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, Morgan E.
Yes. Real quick, I want to mention you can go to canarycrymeetups.com. Go check it out. See if there's a meetup near you.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. I am never prepared for this because not only is the jingle board full, now I have to switch over to the other thing.
It's good. What would we do? This show would not be what it is if you were ever prepared for the things that are coming up. I mean, it's kind of part of the charm. Meetup. It's part of the charm. People might think we're
the charm
AI
runs out. Yeah, the charm runs
perfectly.
out after a while. Even for myself, I'm like, yeah.
Okay, guys, don't be too hard on yourself. But go to canarycrymeetups.com, folks. Go check it out. You can see a list of the meetups going on around the world, coming up near, coming up far. And if there's not one near you, go ahead and put one on yourself. Pick a time, pick a date. Let us know about it. You can email us at canarycryradio@gmail.com, and we'll put it on the list. And people in your area will flock. Get it? To come to your meetup, and you'll make best friends, or at least reluctant apocalypse connections. Now, big announcement. Oh, we'll see you at the meetup.
Yes, we will.
This is fun! See you at the meetup.
Big announcement, Gons. Big announcement is very exciting.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay. So, for those of you who are signed up for the Canary Cry Supply Drop, well, maybe you don't know about the Supply Drop. The Canary Cry Supply Drop, we started at the beginning of 2021? Two. As a way to thank producers who are committed to producing the show on a monthly basis. So, if you are a producer who has signed up to produce the show for $33.33 per month, as a thank you gift, every quarter we send you a big old package of custom created, producer produced, artist designed, made in America Canary Cry News Talk gear. Okay, you've heard me talk about this before. Maybe you're new, maybe you haven't heard me talk about this before. But we have. Did I mention there's a big announcement? I did.
You did, yes.
You can learn more by going to canarycry.com. SupplyDrop.com, CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. You can also sign up there. We've had all sorts of awesome stuff over the past year. And one of the things, Gons, it's almost, I'm not sure exactly how to go about this, but I will say this. Gons, what would you say you have done that will forever, for the rest of this life on Earth, what have you done that will forever overshadow anything that I ever accomplish?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You
know
accomplished
this.
a lot.
What is the thing that will forever be hanging over my head?
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Silver Telly Award that I won thanks to Tom Horn and the people over at Skywatch and Defender Publishing for directing this film called Inhuman.
I got one of those. I got one of those coming my way, baby. That's. I'm not afraid of that one. That one, I can take you down. No, but you're close. You're getting close, though. I'll give you another guess.
Okay, well, it's probably the Age of Deceit films that.
That's it. You guessed it.
That went viral.
You knew it. Yes, the Age of Deceit films. The films that you created starting back in 2011, right before we started the Canary Cry radio. And those films have been viewed millions and millions of times. They're classics. They're like black market underground classics because you've gotten banned off of YouTube so many times. But they still exist out there, but they're kind of hard to track down. And one of the most common emails that we get is people asking how they can watch Age of Deceit. Now, you've made 3 of them, Age of Deceit 1 through 3, and there's a 4th on the way, folks. But, these occasionally these can be tracked down on the internet, but they're kind of mirrored on weird channels and stuff like that. So we get lots of emails about where people can buy DVD versions. And the answer is always, I don't know. I might have one laying around in my closet or in a shoebox or so. Nobody can get their hands on these DVDs. And so through masterful negotiations and deep legal conflict resolution, we have finally gained the rights to make DVDs of Age of Deceit. Wow. So what we're going to be doing, yes, it's very cool. What we're going to be doing for the supply drop for this year, it's going to be a year-long project, is we will be getting DVDs of Age of Deceit 1, 2, and 3, created, professionally printed, remastered, and all the cool stuff. And the only way to get a hold of these is to join the Canary Cry supply drop. So this is the most forward planning that we have ever done for the supply drop. But it was obvious that this is one of the most valuable things that we can do. So we'll be talking more about it in the future. But if you know Age of Deceit, and if you ever wanted to get your hands on a hard DVD copy, because as we know, the internet's going to get locked down, perhaps even blown up with a Chinese EMP. You're not going to always be able to rely on the internet streaming services. So it'll be good to have it in hard copy. So when the earth is sort of smoldering from whatever disaster is coming, you'll be able to pop in Age of Deceit 1 through 3 into your DVD player at home and watch it. So there you go. We're very excited about this. And if you think that this is worth doing, if you get value from this show and you want to keep this show going and at the same time receive free bonus gifts all year long, go to CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. Sign up there, and Age of Deceit 1 through 3 will be delivered once per quarter. So 1 will come at the next one, 2 will be in the next one, and 3 will come at the end of the year, just in time for Christmas. And then the fun part, Gons, is this gives you quite a timeline to finish Age of Deceit 4. See, here's the thing, Gons. People, they email me and ask me when Age of Deceit 4 is going to be finished. And I think to myself, why don't you email Gons? I have nothing to do with this. And so you now are being put on a de facto schedule, Gons. I know this is a long schedule, and nobody out there is going to be so happy I'm giving you so much time. But
yeah, and also a move in the process. Yes, a lot going on.
Kind to you by giving you the rest of this year to finish AOD4, and by the time the supply drop goes out next year, we need to be putting AOD4 in that supply drop, Gons. So get on it.
And maybe I'll release it in the modern format. Age of Deceit 4 will be a TikTok video. It'll be 1 minute long.
It'll be a series. It'll just be a channel. A channel.
78 1-minute clips.
Yeah, so we're all very excited about this. I will say you're welcome to everybody out there who's been waiting for AOD4. I will be cracking the whip on Gons. And for those who get value from this show and put value back in, sign up for the supply drop, and you will begin receiving this is the only way to get these DVDs, by the way. They will not go on sale. We do not do retail. We are not retailers, but they will be free gifts to those who sign up for the supply drop. So go to canarycrysupply.com. Sign up. Do it now. Do it now. Don't wait. Okay, now it's time for the Flippy update.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right, folks. It's time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. Gons, today, Flippy, he's getting into sports ball.
Hey,
yeah.
I like it. This is
your,
right up my alley.
Is your zone. This is your zone. Flippy's coming for you. And at first, well, let's read a little bit into it. Because remember, this isn't just about, the Flippy update is not just about what are the new cool robots that are out. It is also, what does this mean existentially for humans? What does this have to do with the human experience? And how is the narrative being crafted to enslave your mind to the robots? This is coming from Mashable.com. The headline is this: the robotic basketball hoop ready to test your free throw skills. The robotic basketball hoop, Gons. Don't get it twisted. Now, previously, we had reported on in Yahoo Sports, we had reported on the basketball shooting robot.
Yes, who debuted at the Olympics in Tokyo.
Debuted at the Olympics, pretty spooky looking robot, one big eyeball, and sort of human shaped humanoid robot, sinks threes like it's nothing. And we already, we've talked about how this is putting the league at risk. The very idea that sports are a human endeavor, but now we have something slightly different. And it's mostly in a video here, but I will read you the paragraph that comes with it. Developed by Autonaton, the robotic basketball hoop is a regulation-sized backboard and hoop mounted on an IRB 8700 industrial robotic arm. The idea behind the project was to create a hoop with personality.
Hey, yeah, of course.
It's not just an object anymore. This object has personality. Depending on its mood, it may kneel down to allow a dunk or pull back at the last second if it feels like teasing you. The hoop itself is ready to crush your spirit, Gons. Ready to crush your spirit and make you look foolish. Now, the video that's playing on the video version of the show, you'll see this is a gigantic Flippy arm. If it's standing straight up, it's about 20 feet tall. It's enormous, and it has, well, you guessed it, a backboard and a hoop attached to the front of it. And this video shows who I am assuming are the
engineers,
sort of sadistic engineers who have some, so, I mean, come on now. They grew up, they were kind of nerds. They were into robots. Sports wasn't really their thing. And so this is their revenge. It's the revenge of the nerds. And they've built this robot that can choose whether it wants to help you or harm you in your basketball game. And this hoop, it moves up and down. It goes left and right. It moves around kind of like it has a bit of a personality. And it shows these scientists, these nerds, shooting balls at the hoop. And the hoop is moving pretty swiftly back and forth to either help the person make a basket or to attempt to sabotage them. Now, this is fun. Okay, it's obviously fun. It makes for a cool, funny video. I do not know what the practical application is, except I was imagining if there was anything that would get me to regularly tune into basketball, it would be putting a moody robotic arm in charge of the hoop.
I'm watching sports. Sports did good. Ooh, did the ball go?
Now, look, there are obvious questions. It says here, depending on its mood, it may kneel down and allow a dunk or pull back at the last second if it feels like teasing you. What are the parameters of the mood of the robot? How do you get on the robot's good side? I do not know.
Yeah, bring it gifts. Before
yeah, you must
present your
sacrifices.
Yeah.
Maybe help it get a sponsorship from Nike or something like that.
Oh, great.
But it dawned on me, what if the NBA had a sort of, I mean, it kind of already exists. Maybe you can tell me more about it. What if the NBA had something akin to a social credit score or something like, I mean, there's already stats.
Yes.
There's
lots of, the statistics,
right?
Analytics have completely taken over all sports, but particularly basketball. These players wear microchips when they play. It's like in their jersey, and they get all kinds of data. Oh yeah. They get all kinds of data from it, and decisions from on high are being made. Yeah, kind of usurping the player's own feelings and stuff based on analytics. It's kind of a crazy thing happening in sports in general. So there's more to it than meets the eye, Basil. It's more than just ball and hoop. But
really?
Yes, there's a lot going on in the NBA, especially. It's kind of and NBA being the catalyst also of COVID. If you recall, the NBA shutting down was sort of the, oh wow, they're really doing this moment, at least for me. So anyway, yes, they have one of the statistics.
Chipped up. If the players are already chipped up during the game, and we have this sort of social movement towards, not just equality, but equity. Equity in sports, guns. And this sounds perfect. You got your chipped up players. Now, it's just not fair. It's just not fair that some players are better than others. I mean, just because taller, more talented, came from a better background, you could see a world in which this robotic hoop was sort of designed to respond to whichever player was shooting. If they came from a middle class background, and went
you get
to
all
a
that
good
data.
School,
you walk onto the court, you have the profile, you have their upbringing, their income status, everything, and you can cater to them. Yeah.
Suddenly, it gets a little harder. The hoop gets a little taller, wiggles a little, maybe a little bit to the left, something. Or if there was a recent injury, it adjusts the height of the hoop based on the person's injury. True equity in sports, guns. Now, this harkened back to the story Harrison Bergeron, which is the Kurt Vonnegut, I believe, story about a society where the gifted, the talented, the tall, the strong were sort of forced to handicap themselves by wearing, chains or, glasses that made their eyeballs worse, just to, make it so everybody else.
Level playing field, yeah.
Yes, level the playing field, of course. This is a bit, has the potential for some like Harrison Bergeron AI equity and inclusion in sports. And of course, the obvious is, okay, that's not fair. That's stupid. I don't like that. Okay, yes, none of us like that. But even more than how we can sort of personally feel about it, we all know that sports is sort of, it's the circus of our day. It's a tool used by the elite to influence and perhaps even coerce the population into whatever they want. We saw, of course, all the drama behind athletes who did or didn't get vaccinated, and they were used and abused by the system in order to further the social engineering goals of the elites, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the same way, this would be a great way to sort of normalize the idea that, hey, yeah, some people, we're just going to make things harder. You've had it too easy. We're going to do it. But we're going to do it in this way that's sort of entertaining and sort of sets the standard for how people move around in society. I could legitimately see something like this. Now, do I think the NBA is going to do this anytime soon? Of course not. Of course not. But you could see a world where the frenzy, the frenetic panic of equity is so, makes it so deeply into culture and society that you can see people straight up begging for this. There could be an activist movement talking about how uninclusive and inequality, inequity and horrible things that sports points out. Because really, what sports do, and they're sort of, I don't know if I'd say supposed to do, but what they do and why people love it is because it separates people. It separates the exceptional. You see exceptional athletes and you cheer for them and you're impressed by them, or you criticize them and say how you could do just as good if only you had the chance.
Yeah,
whatever.
I would also argue, though, that a lot of, especially mainstream sports reporting, is all about the narrative. It's about the story of the individual, where they come from. That matters, especially now, more than, a lot of times with the most valuable player award, at least in the NBA, the people that vote on it, the writers and journalists and some players and stuff, the players vote something way different than the journalists who are, supposed to be covering the league because they're looking for the best story.
Sure.
It's not only the best player, so in that way, they're always trying to emotionally connect you.
Yeah. And in this way,
because it's supposed to be a vicarious thing too. It's not just like, wow, it's exceptional. Yes, it is exceptional, but also, hey, how are you going to relate to the common person? As someone watching at home.
That's part of what makes somebody exceptional is they come from a background,
the humble beginnings.
Yeah, the humble beginnings, and then they get good, and that's great. And that's the story,
Reeves.
Just like you're saying. That's the emotional story.
Yeah.
In this way, you could almost manufacture that at any moment.
Right.
Anybody who came from a hard background or has some sort of inequity in their life, they could just instantly make them into a
superstar.
A superstar.
Yeah,
right?
the rim always lowers for this individual. And you cannot go into the paint.
And I bet they would ignore it too. They would ignore the fact that the hoop is moving. That would fade into the background.
Right. People would just forget that it's robotically controlled.
Exactly. You'd kind of forget. They'd have the camera angles such that you kind of don't see it when it's moving or whatever. And the public would have, especially if you're just watching on TV, you would have no idea really that this is happening, or you would just forget about it eventually. You'd become desensitized to it. Mike Mitchell in the chat makes a good point, which is this would start in school, start in high school, start in middle school, elementary school gym class. You have this, you start this out in elementary school, and you have a whole generation coming up through the school system. where their sports ability is sort of determined by their handicap situations, whatever it is.
There's going to be a whole generation of kids going, I remember the days before Flippy the Hoop.
Everybody, yeah, exactly. Before the hoops were robotic. Sit down, Sonny. Let me tell you, back when my day, the basketball hoops didn't have a brain. You're crazy, Grandpa. Yeah, so a lot of potential here. Very fun. And, you can see it fitting right in a sort of dystopian world where we continue on the trajectory that we are currently on. If that trajectory continues, I think this crazy story that I just came up with here is not too far from reality.
I don't think so either. All it would take is some NBA player to use his millions of dollars in some kind of philanthropic thing, and a lot of it is social justice work. So I can see that happening.
We'd start in the inner cities, or it'd start in sort of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation type of scenario.
Somebody, a kid that wants to dunk, the rim comes down. There's an emotional moment. The rim comes down and meets the child or the young person that,
That's
whatever.
right.
So, it's all
Very
built in.
Heartwarming.
Yep,
Heartwarming.
Yep. Okay.
All right, everybody. There's your Flippy update for the day.
All right. Here we go.
My generation is hopefully with the advances in.
I think before you play the thing, we need to.
That's right. I forgot.
We need to do the thing.
Yeah,
okay. So this is the moment. I told you the moment was coming. This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching this on YouTube, you're going to need to switch over to one of our other outlets. I'm putting what I hope is the link to the Rumble in the chat here. And we are going to be turning off the YouTube stream, but if you want to continue to enjoy the show, what follows from here is going to be too hot for YouTube. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And so we'll be turning off the YouTube. Follow that link over to the Rumble channel. You can also just type in rumble.com/Canary Cry News Talk, or is it CCNT? Yeah, Canary Cry News Talk. There you go. All right, Gons. He is hacking the mainframe right now. He is doing the things that need to be done to make this happen.
All right, let's go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Twitch, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, you can find all those links at canarycry.party as well. Too hot for YouTube.
YouTube.
Now you see me. Now you don't.
Let's get